Welcome to a handmade cottage Christmas. Today we'll be making a variety of handmade garlands and ornaments, decorating with preserved fruit garlands that I made last year, and decorating with homemade and thrifted finds. I hope you'll join me. In years past, I've made many salt dough ornaments. This year, I thought I would try something a little different and use air dry clay. We'll be making 2 different projects with the clay, though I had several more I didn't get a chance to record yet. This first one is a clay star garland. For this, you'll need air dry clay, a star-shaped cookie cutter, rolling pin, and a toothpick. First, roll out your clay moderately thin, maybe a 1/4 inch. Too thin and your stars will be prone to breaking. Using your cutter, or in this case, a Play-Doh stamp for me, as it's what I could find, cut out your stars, and then use a toothpick to put 2 holes in each star. This is where we will thread the string. Allow the stars to dry completely. If you'd like, you can glaze them with air dry clay glaze. I have all the resources I've used in this video linked below in the video description. I love the look of the unglazed stars, but glazing them does help them be stronger and less likely to break. You can choose glossy or matte glaze. Once everything is completely dry, it's time to string the garland. I used gold embroidery floss for this. Sewing thread would work, but it'll be a little more flimsy and hard to control. Thread the string up through one hole and down through the other hole, tying a knot after each star to keep it from sliding around. We'll hang this a little later in the video. For our next clay project, we're going to make little house ornaments. These can be any size you'd like. I decided to make the Christmas tree in our homeschool room/office a little more whimsical this year, and I went with a cottage in the woods type theme with little houses, animals, and natural fruit garlands. Once you've rolled out the clay, you can use either a cookie cutter or cut around a template that you've made out of paper or printed off your computer. I just used a butter knife to cut around the edges. Don't forget to make a little hole at the top to hang it later. Once the clay is dry, it's time to decorate. I used acrylic paints that I watered down slightly for a lighter watercolor feel. Once the paint is dry, it's time to glaze. I love how they turned out. And again, we will hang all of these later. Our last garland is from a different material altogether. We're going to make a no-sew word garland out of scrap fabrics. Old clothes, thrifted linens, really anything you can find will work. You'll first need to print out letters as your template. If you'd like to make your own letters, just pick a bubble type font and set it to the size you'd like. For this project, I set the font size to about 350, so quite large. If you'd like the exact letters I've used, I've linked them below as a free printable. After I printed mine, it occurred to me that I should have made them hollow, not solid black, to cut down on ink consumption, so the hollow ones are the type that I linked. Once you've cut out your letters, fold your fabric so it's doubled over and line your letter template up at the fold. Cut around the letter, being sure not to cut the folded part. And before we close up the letters with hot glue, we're going to need to glue in our hanging tabs. I used a stiff fabric for this, but ribbon would also work. Hot glue one edge of the loop inside the letter, then glue the other end of the loop on top of the first. We'll then use the hot glue to begin to seal the letter closed, but don't close it all the way. Lightly fill the letter with stuffing as you go. I found a bamboo skewer works wonderfully for pushing it into the small spaces. Once all the letters are sealed up and finished, it's time to string them. I chose this red velvet ribbon, not only because it's festive, but also because the texture will help prevent the letters from shifting. Let's use these garlands to decorate my English pine hutch. I found this beautiful print on Etsy and I knew I wanted to hang it over our piano. I loved the warm, glowing image of the mother with her children around the Christmas tree. After purchasing the digital download, I had it printed at Office Depot on paperboard. Be sure to always check online for a coupon code when ordering prints. I was able to find one for 60% off, which made it much more affordable. I wanted to put it in this antique gold frame, but unfortunately, the dimensions just weren't going to work. The print has a white margin all around that would show, and I would have had to have trimmed a substantial amount of the picture off the sides. Instead, I opted for this simple green frame that my husband made a few years ago. The white was still going to show on the top and bottom, so I made a border out of lace to cover it, attaching it with some simple double-sided tape. I found these little frame ornaments in the Target dollar spot, literally for $1 a piece. I love their shape, but I found them to be a little too plastic looking. After brushing them with some Rub and Buff in European Gold, I like them much better. You can't really buff them because it will rub off of the plastic, but it works to just brush it on like paint. Would I prefer them to be wood rather than plastic? Absolutely, but this is a very affordable option. One night I had quite a lot of fun creating these little woodland scenes and portraits using a variety of watercolor graphics. My children love them. They've already each claimed the ones that they love. If you would like to use these prints also, I've made them available as a free download for my email newsletter subscribers. If you'd like to sign up for that, you can find that link also in the description below. am in the process of recording more Christmas content that I would love to share with you, including handmade gift ideas and more projects and decor that I can't wait to record. If that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it.